Hey friends, welcome back to Politically Canadian. It's April 13th, 2025, and we're zooming toward the federal election on April 28th, just 15 days away. Today we're diving into a story that's making waves on Vancouver Island. A petition to remove Conservative candidate Aaron Gunn from the North Island Powell River riding has hit 15,000 signatures. It's a heated debate, and I'm here to break it down, what's going on, why it's sparking so much talk, and what it means for the campaign. So, grab a snack, maybe some Nanaimo bars for that BC vibe, and let's get into it. All right, let's start with the basics. Aaron Gunn is the Conservative candidate for North Island Powell River, a riding that stretches from Campbell River to Powell River and beyond. He's been in the spotlight lately, but not for the usual campaign stuff. The heat's coming from old social media posts he made about Canada's residential schools and how the country treated Indigenous people. These posts have folks upset, and it's led to a big push to get him off the ballot. So what did Gunn say? Back in 2020, he posted, "There was no genocide. Stop lying to people and read a book." Then, in 2021, he wrote that residential schools were asked for by Indigenous bands in Eastern Ontario. Those words have hit a nerve, especially because the House of Commons officially recognized the residential school system as genocide in 2022. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission also laid out how these schools were designed to erase Indigenous cultures, tearing kids from their families and causing deep harm. For a lot of people, Gunn's comments feel like they're dismissing that painful history. That's where this petition comes in. It's hosted on Leadnout.ca and was started by a local named Eric Ripa. It's racked up 15,000 signatures, calling for the Conservatives to drop Gunn as their candidate. The petition says it's not okay for someone running for Parliament to question Canada's colonial past like that. It's not just online noise either. Before the petition even started, Gunn was catching flack from the BC Assembly of First Nations, local mayors, and community leaders in his riding. The First Nations Leadership Council called his posts horrific and offensive, saying they deny the genocide Indigenous people faced. Now, what's Gunn's side? He's pushed back online, saying, "I have always been firm in recognizing the truly horrific events that transpired in residential schools, and any attempt to suggest otherwise is simply false." He's framing it as a misunderstanding, insisting he condemns the abuses at those schools. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is standing by him too. Last weekend in BC, Poilievre called the criticism misinformation and said Gunn wants to keep condemning residential schools while building partnerships with First Nations for economic opportunities like resource projects. Poilievre is showing no signs of pulling Gunn, even with all the pressure. Here's a twist, though. It might be too late to change much. The deadline to swap candidates for the election passed on Monday, April 7th. That means even if the Conservatives dropped Gunn, his name would still be on the ballot as a Conservative in North Island Powell River. If he won, things could get messy. It's a tricky spot for the party, especially in a riding where Indigenous voters make up about 6.5% of the electorate, and there are over 20 First Nations communities. Let's zoom out a bit. This drama is unfolding in a super tight election. Mark Carney's Liberals are polling ahead in some surveys, but the Conservatives are fighting hard, especially in places like BC. North Island Powell River has been NDP turf since 2015, but with MP Rachel Blaney not running again, it's up for grabs. Gunn's facing off against the NDP's Tennille Johnston, the Liberals' Jennifer Lash, the Greens' Jessica Wegg, and others. Some polls, like one from 338 Canada, had Gunn leading with 5th support, but that was before this petition blew up. So what's the bigger picture? This isn't just about one candidate. It's about trust, history, and reconciliation. The petition folks argue Gunn's views don't line up with what an MP should stand for, especially in a riding with a strong Indigenous presence. On the flip side, Gunn and his supporters say he's being unfairly targeted, and he's focused on issues like affordability and jobs. It's a clash that's got people picking sides, and with advanced polls opening April 18th, voters are starting to make up their minds. And that's the story, eh? The Aaron Gunn petition's at 15,000 signatures and counting, shining a spotlight on North Island Powell River. Will it change the race? What do you think? Should Gunn stay or go? How's this hitting you as we head to the polls? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm all ears. If this breakdown helped you get the picture, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. This is Politically Canadian, keeping you in the loop. Catch you next time. Stay awesome.